In this documentary, we will be discussing how music of the 1960s influenced politics on not only a national level, but on an individual basis as well. And including in this music is music from the Vietnam War protest and the Civil Rights Movement. Not only were citizens angry with Lyndon B. Johnson because of his failed promise to uphold peace, but the troops were angry as well as they were being swept away from their homes to be sent overseas for a war that they did not belong in. During this time, baby boomers were already second-guessing morals and politics after World War II because of the greatest generation installing fear of nuclear war, violence, debt, and leftist ideologies. The Vietnam conflict taught baby boomers that they were at a severe risk not only by the government, but by their own parents, the greatest generation. Because of this, the youth culture of the late 60s would be defined. An example of this would be Bob Dylan's Masters of War. This song in particular made a strike at the wealthy government officials and stated that they didn't care about consequences, just power and wealth. In addition, Revolution by the Beatles questioned campaign promises of peace that were broken. Because these songs shone a light on what was really going on, hundreds of civilians rallied together in order to bring troops home. In addition to the anti-Vietnam War protest, another prominent movement within the 1960s is the Civil Rights Movement. The early music of the Civil Rights Movement can be classified as a collection of freedom songs, or otherwise known as congregational songs. These songs were used to express harsh realities of the Black community, and the simple shock factor of these songs caught attention and helped bring people together. An example of this would be the hymn Lift Him Up, which was used to attract attention of corrupt officials, and it also led a variety of people to rally behind the movement. Not only were there Black artists at the forefront of the movement, but there were also white artists as well, such as Bob Dylan, Joan Baez, and Buffalo Springfield, where each used their white privilege to shine a light on the movement.
As indicated before, this music sort of spoke to a wider sensibility than just the Black community. And you think about, Pete Seegers and Bob Dylan and all of those folks. They're right in there, helping to move this message forward.
During the Civil Rights Movement, unity in Black communities was extremely important. For example, "Say It Loud" by James Brown conveyed pride, unity, and determination, and kept the community motivated to keep fighting for what was right. Gospel music also played an important role within the Civil Rights Movement because it was the glue that held the Black communities together.
Gospel music was universal in the Black community. Everybody knew gospel music, be they religious based or more secular. They were all aware of this music, and it could speak to the depths of the soul of the people, especially those being marginalized and mistreated. So I think it was indeed, and it was, of course, music of hope in many respects. That's all the Black community had to hold on to, was the hope that, things will get better and that we will be, removed from this.
Another example of this idea would be the hymn "What a Fellowship," which celebrates a sense of community the movement fostered itself. And another example is the hymn "We Shall Overcome," which is a personal commitment to fight for freedom. Because of its brutal honesty, the political music of the 1960s had such a huge impact that it rallied the most unlikely people with the Black community to fight for equality across the race spectrum. Even though the civil rights movement happened decades ago, unfortunately this topic is still relevant today because we are currently facing the same political problems with the current administration. However, if music can be universal and unite people once, it can do it again.